Hi there, guys. The notification for NMAT 2022 is out. And along with NMAT's notification, the NMIMS notification is also out if you don't know already about it. So what we are going to do in this particular video, I'm going to take you through what are the important listings about important dates and how is the registration process going to be. And also, I'm going to take you through the entire form filling process. So it is going to be a slightly longish video, which will probably cover each and every query that you may have on a general basis. Yes, there will be specific queries probably at the end of that. You may very well post your queries, whatever you have, even after watching the entire video. If you have any specific queries, you may post it in the comments box, and we will be very, very happy in helping you and assisting you to understand what are the intricacies of this. So let's get quickly started with this. So this is the portal mba.com, where you can find details about NMAT. You can either go to this long URL, or you can simply type nmat.org over here, and it will lead you to the same page, by the way, right? So where every detail about NMAT as an exam, what is it going to be, when is it that you're going to have this paper, uska pattern kya hai, kaise hoga, or what all registration processes are there, every detail is available on this particular website. I'm just going to zoom it a little so that it is very, very clearly visible in the video as well. So on the left hand side, you can see about the exam section, right? So let us individually go and get into each one of them and try to understand कि कुछ change हुआ है या last year जैसा था वैसा ही है. Structure and score, what is it looking like? So what does it say? It says that it is generated from a pool of questions, delivered one at a time. So delivered one at a time. So how the paper is going to be is that you cannot skip questions. What is your next question depends on what your previous question was and whether your answer to the previous question was correct or not. अगर आपका आंसर सही है तो हो सकता है थोड़ा टफ क्वेश्चन दे दे. अगर आपका आंसर पिछले क्वेश्चन का गलत है तो हो सकता है थोड़ा इजी क्वेश्चन दे दे. So everybody will have a different kind of paper, right? Everyone who is taking the paper will probably end up getting a different set of questions and a different sequence in which those questions will be available to all of you. That is probably why you may not be able to find a previous NMAT paper on our portal also. क्योंकि सबका पेपर अलग है यार, क्या पेपर चढ़ाएंगे, right? So the candidates have a choice of selecting the order of the test sections, selecting the order of the test sections. So there are three sections, basically language skills, quantitative skills, and logical reasoning. There are three sections in the paper, and the candidates have the choice of selecting the order. So there are 3 into 2 into 1, 6 combinations possible. For all that matters, one may want to go with the conventional kind of approach, where the kind of approach that you have for CAT में क्या होता है कि you have VRC followed by DILR, then you have quantitative skills. You may very well want to follow that particular order, or you have the option. You very well have the option to change the order of the sections right before at the starting of the paper. You will be given a choice कि किस order में करना चाहते हो, 1, 2, 3. What are the sections you would want to attempt, right? So these three sections are individually timed, and individually there are number of questions in each of them. So you can see that language skills, there are 36 questions. This is English. Quantitative skills, there are 36 questions. This is essentially quant and a little bit of DI. Logical reasoning, this may include both verbal logic as well as analytical reasoning. This is another 36 questions, but you can see that the time allotted for all the three sections is different. For language skills, we have 28 minutes. For quantitative ability, it is 52 minutes, and for logical reasoning, it is going to be 40 minutes. That is a total of 120 minutes that you will be given in this particular paper. One important thing that you need to notice over here is that there is no +3 -1 kind of marking scheme. The marking scheme of NMAT is a little something that is coded in itself, because you can see that the score range that you will get, the minimum score you are going to get, irrespective of you get all questions wrong also, the minimum score that you are going to get is 12, while the maximum score you are going to get is 120 in each of the sections, right? So the minimum score finally that you're going to get is 36, while the maximum score you are going to get is 360. Now, what are the different types of section-wise topic coverage? I think this is more than self-explanatory. I think you may very well visit the site and check for yourself what is the syllabus kind of going to be. There, over and above CAT, in NMAT, you will find that there are particular types of questions, especially in logical reasoning and verbal logic, that you may find are present in NMAT, but not present in CAT, right? What are other important details? So register and schedule. How do you go about it? So this entire details about registration and payment is given. I'm going to take you through the entire form filling process any which way. So you have to be ready with your date of birth. You have to be ready with your cards. You have to be ready with your you know ID proofs and stuff to be able to fill this form one first. Then you pay the exam fee by furnishing all the details that are there. Then you select the exam mode, whether you want to take it at the test center or you want to take it online proctored at home. Now, this is a choice that they will give you, that whether you want to go to a test center to write or you want to do it as an online proctored at home exam. My suggestion is you go to the test center and write, because operational difficulties, there will be someone else who will take care of it. In an online proctored exam, if at all, by chance, by mistake, your computer is throwing some kind of tantrums, you'll probably end up missing out on those exams. And during the exam time, given the pressure of the exam, given what is at stake for you, I would not suggest you get into those kind of resolutions. I think that taking it at the test center will make a lot more sense. So if you schedule it at the test center, you have to book the exam. These are certain things that we will come to once we are done with the entire form filling process as such. All right. So these are the various informations and all that are given over here. Then what are the important dates? Let's start with that. So the registration started yesterday. Okay, so the 1st of August till the 10th of October is where the registrations are open. So the registrations are open from the 1st of August to the 10th of October. You can start scheduling your test from the 1st of August till the 13th of October. The rescheduling is available from 1st of August till 16th of December. Exam delivery. Now, NMAT as an exam, unlike CAT or ZAT, doesn't happen on one particular day. NMAT, you can take it in a 3-month window. They typically give a 2 to 3 month window, 60-day to 90-day window, in which you can select one particular date to take the exam. So the exam delivery starts on 10th of October. You will have to see आपके शहर में, आपके city में किस test center पर किस दिन slots available हैं. So the exam delivery starts from 10th of October and it is continuing till 19th of December. NMAT is a paper where you can also go for a retake. It is not necessary you take it only once. You can take NMAT thrice, but I would suggest otherwise. You should ideally take NMAT only once. That is because if you have it in your mind कि boss मेरे को 3 attempt देने को मिलेगा, आपका first attempt तो खराब होगा ही होगा. That is something you should definitely avoid. Then again, there are some dates given about retake scheduling in all. This is all going to happen after you take the first exam. First exam लिखने के बाद आप retake के बारे में सोचोगे, उसके बारे में अभी से मत सोचो, right? So the test fees is 2,800. The test alone is 2,800. For every retake that you plan, let's say 2,800 देना, right? You can download up to your scorecard up to first 5 times. Beyond the first 5 times, if you want to download your scorecard from the dashboard the 6th time, पैसे लेगा. Reschedule करने के लिए भी there is some amount that you will have to pay. And there are different types of payments that are accepted, right? So let us quickly get into the form filling part of it, how to go about it, right? So you can visit this URL called register.nmat.org. Okay, you can directly visit this URL, register.nmat.org, where they will ask you to first register with your email ID. Okay, so let us say that I put in my details over here and I put this. I will click on create an account. Okay, clicking on which it will send me a mail to my email ID saying this, that your registration has been confirmed. To confirm your registration, please click on this tab. Clicking on this tab will take you through another tab, which is going to be this tab, right? Which is actually going to be is that. Achha, chalo, clicking on this tab will take you through. Let's click it and see. Kya tension hai? It will take you to this tab again, right? So where you will be asked to log in. Once you have confirmed it, they will give you a login credentials also. So let me just quickly log in over here. Password मत देख लेना आप लोग, right? My login credentials, I am putting them over here. Just a second. You will receive another email. You will receive another email with the login credentials as well. That another email will look like this. इसमें नीचे जाके आपका पासवर्ड मिलेगा. मैं नहीं शेयर कर रहा अपना पासवर्ड यार, right? So I am going to just log into my account. So this is what your dashboard will look like. Now, if you are doing this login, if you are doing this registration from your personal computer, then it makes sense that you also click on save password. Otherwise, save that mail जिसमें आपका password आया है, right? So this is where it will ask me to start my registration now, because I have थोड़ा सा छेड़खानी किया है मैंने इसके साथ, इसलिए वो 15% complete दिखा रहा है, but it is as good as and completely incomplete form. So first thing that they will ask you is your personal information. What is your personal information, right? So let us go to the personal information part of it. What they will ask you is details like what is the title you would want to go with, Mr. Raviteja. Middle name अगर डालना है तो डालिए, नहीं डालना है मत डालिए. Then the gender they will ask. Date of birth they'll ask. Let's just quickly put the date of birth over here also. 23 October 23rd. Age is an autofill. Category general. Nationality Indian. Native language क्या करेगा ये जान के, ठीक है ले लेते हैं. Native language is Telugu, and he will ask me to upload photograph. Now when you click on this choose files, it will give you this notification that the photograph has to be recent. It has to be either in JPG, PNG or GIF form. No rotated pictures or landscape pictures are allowed. Photos should have either white or lightly colored background. So I suggest for all the exam forms that you are going to fill, have one standard photograph clicked. एक नया passport photograph with a lighter background and a darker shirt एक click करके रख लो. Test taker's face should be distinctly visible, straight and at the center, right? And it also has a limit of 1 MB, maximum limit of 1 MB the size, right? So keep that photograph ready before you actually start filling the form. Facebook photos and other photos are not done. Photos with a dark background is something that you should not ideally look for. So let me just check. मेरे desktop पे कहीं ना कहीं तो होगा मेरा photo. So I have uploaded my photograph. That is done. Then they will ask for the parents' details. Okay. Let me just furnish them. Identity proof. Now, this is a very, very important part. NMAT doesn't ask for one identity proof, but they will ask you for on the exam day to produce 2 different identity proofs. Mind you, 2 different identity proofs. One of the identity proofs has to be a photograph identity proof, while the other identity proof should also have your photo, but it should also have your signature. So please make sure that you have 2 different identity proofs for that. Okay, one which is a photo ID in which your photo is clearly present. Typically, I would suggest a driving license or a PAN card for this. Similarly, a signature ID is also a driving license or a PAN card or a passport. It is given that learner's driving license is not allowed. Please select only passport for both photograph ID and signature ID if you are not an Indian citizen, right? But if you are an Indian citizen, you will have to carry both. You will have to carry both on the day of the exam. You will have to carry your photograph ID as well as your signature ID. So let me just quickly select. So देखो इसमें 3-4 options दे रहा है. Let me select PAN card for the photo ID. Let me select PAN card for the photo ID. Name as per photo ID is Raviteja Mahavadi, and मेरा PAN number लेके आप क्या ही कर लोगे? Something like that. Then signature ID, I'll probably go with driver's license, right? So these are certain personal information that you will have to furnish. Special needs, again, you will have to furnish if you require any differently, if you require any help or assistance, if you are differently able, then what is your disability type and what kind of accommodation are you requesting, right? Enlarged fonts chahiye kya, or are you looking for permission to take a scribe along with you to the exam? These are the kinds of things that you will have to furnish if you are different, if you select the differently abled section. Otherwise you can simply save this information and go to the next tab. So my personal information is 100% filled right now. So the next tab, which is going to be my contact details. Now I have given a phone number. Alternate contact number is also mandatory, they are saying. So let me just randomly give मेरी मम्मी का phone number. But make sure that whatever you are giving is a rational phone number which you will have access to, right? Primary enroll email ID, alternate email ID, they are not asking it as a mandatory field. Now it depends on you whether you want to share an alternate email ID as well. Address for communication, address line India, state, I live in what? Telangana. Then address line, okay, there is some autofill options. Google बहुत जबरदस्त चीज है. Okay, is your permanent address same as your address for communication? I would typically go for yes. Otherwise, you will have to give another permanent address as well, right? I will go typically with yes, right? Select city, Hyderabad. Second. Oh yeah, right. Okay, so now the next column they will ask the next set of data that you will require to submit on the NMAT form is your education or work experience details. So highest education level achieved, either you are attaining, you have attained a master's degree, or you are completed, you have completed, or you are appearing for graduation. I think most of us will be completed or appearing for graduation. Undergraduate country, India. Then they will ask you for your university. Then they will ask you for your university. So search among the list what your university name is. For example, my university is the Rashtra Sant Tukdoji Maharaj Nagpur University. Excellent. And undergraduate college is Yashwantrao Chauhan College of Engineering, which is not there in the list. So I'll try for others. There is no others also that is there in the option. So what I will try is a different spelling for Yashwantrao Chauhan. So Yashwantrao, Yashwantrao, Yashwantrao Chauhan College of Engineering, Nagpur Road. Select stream. What was my stream? It was engineering. Once you select the stream, they will ask you for what kind of degree you had and specialization. Okay, mechanical. Mode of pursuing. It was it full time or was it distance learning or open school? You'll have to furnish those details. Full time. Graduation status completed, not completed. It is completed. Yes. Graduation details. What was the year of passing out? Did I pass graduation? 2015. Marking scheme was out of 10 CGPA, and I got a very average score, 7.22 CGPA. Now they will, the next column is work experience. Once you have furnished all the details required for higher education, you have to look at furnishing details for work experience. Now, do you have any work experience? If you select no, then you are chill. You can proceed to the next column. But if you select yes, these are the types of questions they will ask. What is the type of engagement? Were you an employee or were you self-employed or were you an entrepreneur? Most of us will probably be employees. Sector in which you were working, public, private or not for profit, private in my case. Total work experience as on July 1, 2022, that is 4 years and 2 months to in my case. So you can select up to a maximum of 3 industries. What are the industries that you have worked in? Number 1, I'll go with education. Now, what is the function that I worked in the education department? Business management or development, depending on whatever industry you have worked and whatever function you have worked in, you have to fill in those details. Industry 2 is not a mandatory thing, right? If you have worked in only one industry, choose only one industry. If you have worked in, say, multiple industries, let us say you have worked in pharmacy, pharmaceuticals, as well as in FMCG, you will have to furnish both the details over here. Current and or last organization. Chalo. Next. So education and work experience details, you can see that is 100% filled over here, right? The next important part is school preference. School preference. So before we fill the school preference, there is a certain list of colleges that I want you to take you through. That is available over here. You can see on this particular site, mba.com wala site jo hai, nmat.org wala jo site hai, accepting B schools. What are the B schools that are accepting, right? In the NMAT form, you get to select 5 B schools for free. 5 B schools for free. Mind you that NMAT का form भरने से इन पांचों का form भर दिया ऐसा नहीं है. What it essentially means, when you are looking at this school preferences, what it means is that if you take NMAT will be, and you select that particular B school over here, NMAT will share your information and your score with these B schools. It doesn't mean that you have applied to these B schools already. The application to those B schools is a different process. उन B schools को तुमको अलग से apply भी करना पड़ेगा. This is not full and final. Please mind that if you are selecting NMIMS University over here, it doesn't mean that you have applied for NMIMS University. There's a different process for applying to NMIMS University altogether that you will have to go through also. We will also come out with a video for that particular thing. So look at the list of accepting B schools in India. So what are the top B schools that typically we have in mind when we look at, NMAT as an exam? Obviously, you do it for NMIMS University. So SPKM's Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies, right? Then that is NMIMS. Then KJ Somaya Institute of Management also accepts NMAT scores. There is Xavier University, XIM University, which also accepts NMAT scores for a couple of courses. There is SPJMR's course, which is only this PGP, PGMPW is only a program for women. If you are a woman, you may very well want to research about this course and apply for this. Otherwise, you can see the other good institutes over here generally are TAPI Management Institute, TAPMI. TAPMI is a very good institute that has been gaining impetus in the last few years. There is ICFI Business School from Hyderabad, Soil Flame University. Then there are other B schools also that you can look at. But if I were to give my top 5, I will typically speak about NMIMS, KJ Somaya, XUB, TAPMI, and probably IFMR from the list. So, which is a part of Kriya University. So, when you do that, you have to give your school preferences. So, first preference, NMIMS University, India. Next preference, I'll just check, type X, Xavier University. Next preference, KJ Somaya, let us say. Okay, you can choose up to 5 preferences over here, right? You can add or remove also among those 5, but you can choose 5 for free. You can choose 5 for free. For every additional fee, every additional university you will have to add rupees 354 will be added. That is 300 plus 18% GST if I'm not wrong. That 354 you will have to add for every additional college that you want NMAT to share your information with. Please keep in mind, it does not mean that you have applied for that college or automatically. No, application to that college has to be done separately also. That has to be done separately. So NMAT करके अगर आपको NMIMS में जाना है, NMAT एग्जाम लिखना है, एंड आपको NMIMS में भी अलग से पेमेंट करके you have to apply to that particular college also. Only then ये दोनों करने के बाद ही आपको वहां एडमिशन मिल सकता है if you clear the cutoff. So this is just an example. It doesn't, these 3 colleges that I have selected is just an example. You may research about the remaining colleges also and look at what are the other colleges that you can apply to through NMAT. After which, once you are done with the school preference, now they will ask you about additional information. How do you know about GMAT by NMAT by GMAT? I'll probably put coaching center. I'll enter career launcher only. It's here. your current background. So when do you plan to start your management program? So 23 2023 June July में ही चाहिए रहेगा, right? This date will be having no impact on the application process of the candidate. ठीक है, ये just they want to know you as a person, demographics जानना चाहते हैं और कुछ नहीं है. What other exams are you planning to take? Now it is not a mandate to that you fill this exams you have taken before. It is also not a mandate that you fill this. This is however mandatory. How are you planning to finance your program? Let's say bank loans. Where would you like to study? Select up to 3 countries: India, Afghanistan, Albania. These are random countries that I put over here. You choose. You can probably select South Africa, which also has certain universities that take admission through NMAT, depending on आपका profile वहाँ suit होता है, आपको वहाँ करना भी है कि नहीं. Those are the things that you'll have to take. Are you in any way associated with helping candidates for prepare management exam? Yes, my company's name is Career Launcher, and I will go ahead and I have to complete payment. Once I have done this payment is complete, once I will complete this payment, मेरा NMAT का registration खत्म हो जाएगा, right? That is the preliminary registration or registering for the exam that you have to do. After that, you will have to look at scheduling also. The scheduling dates are given over here. When is it that you can start scheduling your paper? You can start scheduling your paper from today itself. So you can wait also. It is not mandatory that you do it right now, but it is generally advised that you go through, that you book your slot as soon as possible. Matlab, book your slot for as soon as possible doesn't mean that you have to take the paper on the first day, first show. No. What I'm saying is, don't wait for the slots to get over, because every city, every center will have a limited number of slots and they will be filled on first come first serve basis. So once you are done with that, they will once you are done with the payment, they will take you back to the dashboard. अब ये बहुत देर से घूम रहा है. Let us see what happens when it loads. Yeah, so घूम के it will bring me to the declaration part of it. So it will bring me to the declaration part, where I also hereby declare that I have read, understood, and abide by this. Now, this is something that if you want, you may go through it, and you'll have to click on I agree. Applicant's name. This is my date. I am giving a declaration that all the information submitted by me in the support of this application is true and best to my knowledge. I understand that in the event of any information being false or incorrect, my application is liable to be rejected or cancelled at any stage of the program. So at this point, they will give you a preview of your, at this point, once you click on I agree, they will give you a preview option for your entire application form. Just go through the preview of your application form, see that all the details that you have furnished are to the best of your knowledge. Check there are no mistakes in the spelling, there is no mistake in the date of birth. Check that the photograph ID number that you have shared, that is absolutely correct, so that there is no mismatch that when you go on that particular day. So identity information, check that parents details, identity proof, contact information. Step 3, your education and work experience details. Please take a deeper look into the preview of the form once you are done with filling the entire form. You can also edit it by clicking edit on here. Here, for each of the steps, there is an edit option available. Once you are done with that, they will ask you to submit and make payment. Once you are done with all of this, so this is the total payment including taxes, 3,304 rupees for one attempt that you will have to pay. Once you're done with it, you are done with the registration for NMAT. After that, what you do is you go to your dashboard and schedule your paper. That is all that is required. But scheduling that paper, as I told you, please do it as soon as possible that you can do, but also talk to your mentor, talk to your advisor, talk to the person who you trust, talk to your family before you actually book a date for the paper, because most of you will have this question कि मेरे को CAT के पहले देना चाहिए कि CAT के बाद में देना चाहिए. Please note that if you are taking NMAT for NMIMS University only, NMIMS has explicitly stated this, that you will be available, they will be considering only one attempt of NMAT. So taking a retake will not help you at all in that case if you are applying only for NMIMS. So NMIMS deemed to be university, you can check over here. NMIMS के पहले तो बहुत ad आते हैं. Then you go to this, look at the admissions part of it. The admission open for 2022-23, select school. SVKM's NMIMS University, where is that? Let us School of Business Management, Mumbai. Select program, MBA, search. And it will take you through the applications open for 23-25. Please download this admission handout and read this. You will find that they will say that there are 2 steps to the admission process. Let me just highlight that part. For all management programs in NMIMS University, this is the brochure that they have given, that you can apply to NMIMS Mumbai, the business analytics course, or the human resource course, or the pharmaceutical management, or digital transformation, which has come in new in NMIMS Mumbai, or you can apply to an MBA at NMIMS Bangalore, or Jetcharla Hyderabad, Navi Mumbai, or NMIMS Indore. What are the 2 steps to be followed? One is registration at NMAT by GMAC. ये NMAT का फॉर्म आप लोग भरते हो visiting nmat.org, the form that I took you through. The second step is registration at NMIMS. You have to visit nmims.edu and you have to register separately for NMIMS. Please mind that your registration for NMIMS, your registration on NMIMS ka site has to happen at least one day before you are taking the paper. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि you are taking the paper on 10th of October and you are deciding to apply to NMIMS on 11th of October. They will not entertain you. It is given here. Candidates are required to register for NMIMS before they take NMAT by GMAC examination. If your examination is scheduled on 9th October, the candidate is required to register on or before 8th of October. This is an example that they have given. For registration charge for NMIMS is 2600. Please make note of this. NMIMS accepts scores of the first NMAT examination attempted by the candidate only. Retake will not be accepted by NMIMS. Whilst retake may be accepted by other colleges that are accepting NMAT ka score, but NMIMS is not going to do that. So the various eligibility criteria and the different steps for applying to NMIMS are given over here, using which you will have to apply for NMIMS separately. The important dates: application start on the 1st, application end on the 31st of October for NMIMS, right? Second stage of selection process, the merit list and fee payment details, they will be declared later, is what they are saying. So this is the entirety that you will have to do if you want to get admission at NMIMS. The first step is registering on NMAT by GMAC. The second step is filling out the form on NMAT by GMAC. Third step is going on NMIMS, going to nmims.edu and registering yourself there and completing payment there. Only then you will be considered. दोनों जगह register अलग से करना है. Only then you will be considered for that admission. So that's all. I think this is more or less comprehensive in the sense of what is it that you actually require to do for NMAT form filling. Next time, probably we will come up with a video on NMIMS ka form filling kaise hota hai, specific to that particular thing. So if you feel any of your friends, if you're hostel here, if you feel any of your friends also requires this kind of information, please feel free to share our videos and also like our videos and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Thanks a lot.